Okay, now for the finishing touches. This is my downscaled one with some of the things I added to it. And you can see the outside appearance is exactly the same. And when you're downscaling or upscaling, that's really all you're concerned about is the appearance looks the same. What's inside, you have to adjust depending on the engines, the mounts, parachutes, all that other stuff. So this is how I adjusted it for me. I was a little bit concerned about having this big tube for the ejection charges. So I changed out this coupler for an engine block. Let's see where here, not for an engine block. Tube coupler for what do you call it? Engine bulkhead. Sorry, a bulkhead. And so I'd only have to pressurize this point. So this makes this kind of like a payload tube. Uh, but you don't have to. You glue it in, make it solid. But it just means less stuff to pressurize here. And I also decided to lengthen out the uh, motor mount to make it a stuffer tube and moved it out some here. So basically, I only got like 10 inches here of tube for it to pressurize, which is more than adequate. Okay, so there's plenty of room for the chute and wadding and everything else in here. I just one thing I want to be certain of is I don't make the volume so large that the chute won't come out. This ought to work the way it is. That's why I make mine with a little stuffer tube here and a bulkhead here to do. And I also made my engine mount with an engine hook. Now, how you put this engine hook in is a story for another video tutorial. But basically, it can be done. It's not trivial. Okay, but you could just as well use the screw cap kind, like the original Partisan did. They do make, Estes does make them for the 18 millimeter tube. Uh, Open Rocket doesn't model it, doesn't have it, but you can basically model it with a couple of sizes of tube, make the tube, body tube, and make the tube a little bit thick so it looks like it. So it's possible. And you can see that from the original. That's exactly what they did. Anyway, this is mine. And, I did add a launch lug. If you add a launch lug, yeah, and you're only going to do one, it ought to be around the center of gravity. But in this case, I didn't do it here, but I probably will. You'd be probably better off to add another one down here somewhere, just to give it a little bit more stability taken off the rod. Now, what you notice here is, you notice the stability is 2.23. Our original stability was 1.64 on the original model. So it actually went much more stable by making it smaller, which makes sense because aerodynamics doesn't scale very well. So and you'll notice here that I did add a C65 engine to it to make it more realistic, and even running the simulations on it. Well, in fact, let's look at it. Simulation. Let's run it. You can see here they got 754, which is reasonable with a C65. It said the optimum delay was 4.6, and we made it 5, so we were right in the ballpark. Okay, and I used an 18-inch parachute, and it says the ground hit was 9.71. So that's more than adequate. In fact, if I was going to fly with any kind of wind at all, I'd probably downsize that to a 12-inch because these fins are going to be fairly sturdy. There's no sharp points. There's nothing really to break off on it, so I would probably do that. In fact, we never did discuss that fin width on here, but I would have probably made these fins a little more stout. Let's see what what they actually ended up being. Where are my fins? Ah, here they are. No, that's not it. Where's my... Ah, here they are. Oh. Let's edit this. And see. See, the thickness of the fin here is ridiculous. Let's make this at least 1/8 inch. Okay, now that puts it really in the ballpark. 1.2C. Yes, and like I said, I like to keep my models between 1 and 2 because if it's over 2, it tends to weathercock. If it's under 1, it's the slightest little glitch and it'll go wild. So I like to keep it between 1 and 2, and this works out good. So 1/8 inch fin stock works good on this. All right, and that's all there is for this video. If you have, like I said, this one was done because somebody requested it, Paul, I believe. And if there's any other comments or people have any other questions or they want to see something else, a tutorial on something else, you got to let me know because either put it in the video or up on the Open Rocket Facebook page. If you'll put it up there, I'll try to respond and get whatever you want as soon as I can. It takes me 2 or 3 days, at least 3 days, to make a video. So be patient. And if I get backed up, it may take as much as a week or so for me to get to you, but I'll try to do it as soon as I can. At any rate, that'll be it for now. Bye.